Hey everybody, Sensei Adam here, Coach's Corner today. We're just going to talk about forming habits and how that relates to long-term success and the ability to stop you from quitting new activities that you start. So I'm just going to fuel myself. Good. This is a very important talk, guys. We need to make sure that you're paying attention for this one. So, throughout my career of coaching over the last 18 years, one of the biggest things I've noticed is that, why do people start something and then they stop? They'll stay for a year, 2 years, whatever, but they just stop. And, a lot of it, I think, comes down to not setting correct goals, like not knowing why you're in it. Where's the motivation? What do I want to get out of this? And what am I going to hold myself accountable to? And then the second is setting habits to make that successful, setting up positive roadblocks to stop you from doing bad things like bumpers and bowling, and setting up and avoiding negative roadblocks or managing them correctly. Sometimes you can't manage all roadblocks and they're not all negative. For example, if you have a family, you can't just do whatever you want. You might have to, schedule your time, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but that's part of the goal setting process. So, when you're starting a new activity, you need to make sure you set like a final destination goal, okay? And then understand where you're starting and then make it incremental, like one rung at a time. This is just crucial. Once you realize this, you're going to see the results immediately. You're going to get little mini victories consistently, and that's just very motivating. Secondly, when you have a goal, like when your child has a goal or you have a goal, it's easier to continue to go because you're like, well, I obviously haven't hit my goal yet, right? I'm here and I said I was going to be here. So maybe this isn't black. You don't want to be a black belt. Maybe you don't want to be a world champion, but just maybe you want to be a competent martial artist. So you define those terms, you stick it out, and you do it for that amount of time. Okay. I personally think martial arts are as important as swimming lessons. Some people may think that's crazy, but I really believe self-defense and awareness are just as important as, being able to tread water if you land in the water off a boat. So, that being said, anything you do, this can be the case. New Year's resolutions, weight loss, any of those things. Recently, I'm just going through I don't want to call it a weight loss thing. I'm just trying to get myself back down to like my ideal weight that I had when I was competing, but doing so in a healthy way, not cutting weight, not cutting water, not doing any of that stuff. Those are bad habits I formed over a long competition career. So I'm keeping myself accountable with a good friend of mine who's doing this with me, and we're going to try to not only lose the weight, but maintain the weight. And we're doing that by keeping each other accountable. So, that's a big thing to make you really successful at whatever you're going to do. You're not going to do everything that you start for the rest of your life, but you know that you're going to finish what you start. Difficult for everybody, but when you do something, at least set a goal. Okay, this is going to lead you to more success. University of Scranton has posted a study. University of Scranton, like from The Office, only 8% of people who start their New Year's resolutions complete them. I actually thought that was a little bit high because I was a personal trainer. I technically still am as a coach, but I was doing physical fitness training with the general population for about 11 years, almost 12. And I did notice every year, without fail, people start, they have just huge ambitions, but they don't have enough incremental goals. And so when you want to lose 30 pounds and you step on the scale and you've only lost 5, you'll feel like a failure. But if that week you said you wanted to lose 5 and you did, suddenly those successes start adding up. So when we're looking at, even a weight loss goal, a education goal, whatever you want to do, you have to chunk it out, because yes, we want to be on the podium over here, but we might be way down here to start. So maybe your first thing is just this little success, failure, little success, achieve the goal. Okay, this is what we're looking for. This is, as a coach, one of the most important things for me, that no matter how much time I get to spend with my athletes and my students, that it's meaningful time and that they're going to remember that, and hopefully they take something for the rest of their life. So, when you're starting something, your kids are starting something, set a goal and make them achieve it, no matter how much you complain or they complain. Okay, this is going to dramatically change things. One, you'll be a little bit more discerning on what things you start, because you can't have time for everything. But two, you'll feel high self-esteem when you achieve those little goals, and real high self-esteem when you get that big one finally. Yeah, another study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, they were talking about, researchers found that anybody who's like started out to do something, they set goals and they fail to achieve those goals, they lower their self-esteem. But then we got to think on the positive side. Those who were achieving their goals, their self-esteem was raising and just getting higher and higher. So, if you're going to take anything from this, okay, habits are going to beat your willpower no matter what you do. My old head coach from Team Canada told me that habits beat willpower every time. And, it's proven true over my entire life. And anytime I notice that I'm having failures, it usually was a failure to plan. So as you start a new activity, okay, go in it with confidence, and go in with a realistic goal, smart goal, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, in a timely manner. Okay, really lay that out for yourself, and don't let yourself get away with it. We all have excuses. I do too. I've failed at many goals I've had in my life. I've also achieved many goals. And right now, my biggest habit that I'm working to achieve is to form good habits, small good habits, good roadblocks, good accountability systems. So when you start something new, stick to it.